It's going to be on Todd. By the way, you should say we become I saw on one of the newspaper pages, and it is talking about banditry. Now, you must know, you must know that insecurity is rife in Nigeria. It's everywhere, in the south, west, in the north central, northeast, northwest, even in the south. A few days ago, was it last week, we were talking about kidnapping in one of the local government areas in Rivers State. So yeah, kidnapping most especially has become the trend as people think it lucrative, and people are collecting huge amounts as ransom. By the way, we'll talk about this the 4 o'clock hour. And one of the minister said that the reason powerful Nigerians are behind, these activities. When we see some of the insecurity I don't think we did. But Minister of Solid Minerals, Alake, it sounds a lot like it, right? And my question is, you had the army and you've won the battle, you've won the war. In a chess game, once you get the king, you've won the game. So why are we not going for the sponsors? Why are we not going for the men who are writing the numbers, who are writing the checks, who are doling out the money, and not the ones who are carrying the guns? Yes, the ones who are carrying the guns, we should also make them fire with fire. But those who are in air-conditioned rooms making decisions, we should also go after those people with the money. Why is it so difficult? Could they be in government? Could they be friends of people in government? I remember during Jonathan's time, the same conversation popped up, and at the time we heard that it was, some people in government some people in government were part of the sponsors of Boko Haram at the time. So why are we not going after the sponsors? Why can't we gather enough intelligence? What are the intelligence agencies doing, so that we can apprehend some of the sponsors? What has been done to apprehend those people listed by the UAE? I want to also believe that maybe some of the list may have popped up. We may not know about it. Maybe Interpol, maybe intelligence from the United States or the UK or some of these countries in the West. The question yet again is, why are we not going for sponsors? We say we want to stop oil theft. Why are we not going after the people building or sponsoring the building of the illegal refineries? So many questions in my head. However, he said that the federal government is working together with the state and local governments as well as the host communities who have efficient knowledge of the local terrain to address the issue. And now the question yet again that I want to throw into this conversation is, should we restructure? We've been talking about restructuring for many years. Is this the right time to restructure so that we can have the people in the localities, the authorities in the localities, tackle these illegalities and try to get the sponsors? But will they get it, or will they connive with the corrupt elements to continue to rape Nigeria? I don't know, but I want to get your thoughts on this one. But staying with this, sticking to this conversation, I did see the same report on the Punch newspaper, and the Punch newspaper captioned it differently. It said, "I was threatened for linking powerful Nigerians to illegal mining," and still coming from Dele Alake. So I think it was still at that event. He said, "If you follow my budget defense at the House of Representatives or Senate, I did say categorically to the whole world that powerful Nigerians are behind the banditry associated with illegal miners in this country. I said it openly. Of course, I received threats, but we are undaunted because these things have to be said. And in any case, I wasn't saying anything new. Most people knew it. Many people have been saying it. I only gave it an official stamp based on intelligence reports. So there is a lot of connivance along and among the strata of the society, both high, medium, and low. Now, why are they not going after the people? I mean, if someone threatened him via messages, those numbers are there. Why can't we seek out their NIN, find this criminal element, arrest them, so that we can stop all of these illegalities and insecurities happening in our country? But I don't know why nothing is being done. I don't know why nobody's shaking, nobody's moving, shaking their bodies, to ensure that the right things are done in the country. But let's move on now to the next one, even though I've got a commercial coming up in a few seconds. The next story has got to do with political happenings in Plateau State. I really do have a story for you. My goodness. Sometimes these political things that happen in the country, it's like a comedy show. It's like very hilarious show. It's like a very hilarious show. It's like Comedy Central, so to say. But let's go for the commercial. I wanted to come back and tell you the story of what is happening in Plateau State. Just stay tuned.
People share fake news simply because they fail to think sufficiently about whether or not the content is accurate when deciding what to share.
You're listening to Hard Facts at 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Canada Kurubatibo. I was about telling you a story. Yes, it's the big stories segment, and I was about telling you about the second story on the big stories, and it's indeed the story. Okay, so in Plateau State, remember, recently the courts did what they should do in terms of giving a verdict, giving judgments, as it relates or as it pertains to the elections that held last year. And so they gave judgments on the legislative elections, the assembly elections. They also gave judgments on the governorship election. For the legislative, as you already know, the court proceeding ends at the Court of Appeal level, right? And the Court of Appeal gave a judgment that disqualified the PDP lawmakers in Plateau State, saying their elections were not, what's the word now? There's a legal term for that. Basically, they did not have a valid primary, so their elections were not on a solid foundation, yeah? And so the court disqualified them. But the same matter, when it got to the Supreme Court, upheld the election of the governor, irrespective of the fact that the governor also went through that same primary system or process that the Court of Appeal deemed invalid, deemed illegal, deemed null and void. And it became a problem because the Supreme Court is believed to be higher than the Court of Appeal, right? However, the Constitution is clear that legislative election matters, assembly election matters, should end at or should I say, shall end at the Court of Appeal stage. However, now the Supreme Court has got to different argument or judgment or verdict on the same matter. And the Plateau lawmakers are very aggrieved. They are very livid right now. They're very angry, and they are saying they no agree. And this is a vivid manifestation of the team amongst Nigerian youths, no grief for anybody. This is a vivid manifestation of that, because the lawmakers, they no one grief for anybody. And they decided that they were going to resume plenary today. They were going to resume seating today. And so they went ahead, to the Legislative Assembly complex. I hear, because I'm not in Plateau State, I've read the reports. I hear that the police had to wade in. The police had to disperse, the lawmakers. APC and LP lawmakers, or should I say politicians, were the ones who benefited from the Court of Appeal's judgment. But the Plateau State former lawmakers, can I call them that, because the Court of Appeal has ruled, as saying they will not agree to such a judgment that even the Supreme Court has given an alternate judgment to, So I don't know. How are you judging this, really? I know some of you want to say, this is what we've been saying, the kind of judgments we're getting from the court. But however, I'm more looking at I'm looking at it more from the angle of the citizens, right? When something like this happens to you and you're not happy about it, and you've exhausted every legal channel, what next are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to, in the case of those lawmakers now, are they supposed to just obey the Court of Appeal? I mean, what else can they do? Do you think the Supreme Court should step into this matter? Looking at this, it's really entertaining, educative, and I'd like to see how this plays out, right? But I want to get your thoughts on that as well. I know you must have been following that story. What would you advise the former Plateau lawmakers or the PDP lawmakers to do in this very situation? But they are saying they no go agree for anybody, not even the Court of Appeal. And to my final big story, has got to do with the police in River State, saying it has returned about $3,000 that was extorted from civilians by the police in River State. Now, the police in River State did mention the names of the police officers who were culpable for the illegal activity, which is extortion. The PPRO also mentioned that the police officers are facing orderly room trial, and when and if found guilty, they will be, I think, discharged and made to face the wrath of the law. They also said that the police officers, were really bad at, what they did, that they took these gentlemen who they extorted to 3 different states. I think Delta, Edo, I can't remember the states now, but it took them to 3 different states and extorted the money from them. They put charges on them, actually, and they threatened them and all of that stuff. The people were able to cry out, and now the police has responded. Now, this is where I'm going with this. The police has responded, right? And I feel like it's a good thing what the police is doing these days. They are removing the bad eggs from the police, and we've seen a lot of bad eggs being removed. But at this rate, I'm wondering, and I hope you're wondering as well, would we still have police officers left? Because the amount of people committing crimes, the amount of police officers committing crimes, one would wonder if we will still have police officers left. I want to commend the police for doing a great job. However, I'd like to draw the police attention to the reports that we had not long ago, where a young man, Alake, alleged in that report that he was harassed by some police officers along the Rumukurushi axis while attempting to capture them in a video assaulting another man. Now, Mr. Lucky, who came to Nigerian Info FM complex, told our correspondent that the incident happened on Sunday. He said he was arrested, his phone destroyed, and was forced to part ways with 53,000 naira as bail at Ilingbu police station. Now, the funny thing is, bail is supposed to be free. And the second funny thing is that we were told to film, we were told to video, I think by the Rivers State Police Commissioner, we're told to video police officers in the line of duty, most especially if they were doing anything wrong. Lucky has done it, and he has been beaten, he has been arrested, and he has been made to pay 53,000 naira as bail. I'm hoping that the PPRO can give a statement on this, and the police officers responsible would be brought to book. Let's take a listen to Lucky.
They started beating me up. Some more officers came, said they are taking me to their office. So we got to their office. They took clothes and money and everything, and they put us behind the bars. Hours later, they called us to write a statement. Earlier, when I wrote statement, I told them to give me phone, let me make it. So when I wanted to make a call, I found out they had broken this. So at the end of the day, they billed us collecting 53,000 naira plus. I need the police officers, followed by Mr. Friday G.O. He was the one leading them. So I need them to repair my phone, return the money they took for us forcefully.
All right, so you heard it. It's time for me to open the phone lines and get your thoughts on some of the issues I've raised on the show. We've got 25 more minutes to the top of the hour. The phone numbers to dial are 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp number for WhatsApp messages 0809-030-6416. Let's get your thoughts. Let's begin talking and talking for development. Remember, the first big story I mentioned is that powerful Nigerians, most especially politicians, I believe, are responsible for the banditry that we are seeing all over Nigeria. And we've been talking about kidnapping a lot in the last 2 weeks. I mean, across the nation, the national conversation has been about kidnapping. And, Delaware has come out to say, hey, we know where this is coming from. The powerful Nigerians, the people who have monies to set up illegal structures to mine our natural resources, be it in the Niger Delta, be it in the Southwest, be it in the North Central, be it anywhere. This powerful Nigerians are responsible. The second big story has got to do with... what was it again? The second big story has got to do with... Okay, I just have to... I think my memory just failed me for a bit. But yeah, the second big story has got to do with Plateau State, where the lawmakers attempted to hold plenary today, just because the Supreme Court judgment was different from the judgment they got at the Court of Appeal. And I'm asking, what's the best way to handle the situation? The third big story has got to do with Rivers State Police Command arresting 2 or 3 of its officers who were, found culpable of extorting $3,000. Miriam is calling from Okrika. Miriam, welcome. What's on your mind?
Thank you, Kalada. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Miriam. It's good to hear from you.
Thank you. Canada, at least we can see that and it has been confirmed that terrorism in the north is just a cover-up for illegal mining and maybe resource control. They are indirectly controlling all their resources, enjoying it themselves. But it's unfortunate that they have refused to name shame. And as long as they refuse to name, shame, and punish, trust me, there is nothing else they can do, nothing. They say they know all the persons that are involved. These are Nigerians, and they say they don't mention their names. It's okay. Those people are more powerful. They are bigger than the law. They should go ahead. And for the police here, Canada is the place of kidnapping and armed robbery. Well, the only good part of it is that this time we are no longer hearing they are not our men. And the police, they are accepting the wrong and naming the officers, shaming them and punishing them. It's a good one, honestly. Right. I don't know if it's because of the spokesperson now. She's very clear and apt when she's explaining these things to us. So it's a good one. But they should definitely punish them, not just to dismiss them, arrest them, and they should go through the same punishment that non-kidnappers and armed robbers will go through. They should go ahead and do that.
All right, then.
Not just to refuse the money. Thank you, Kalada.
All right, thank you very much. The police officers were even paraded, I should mention. Zion from Jerry, welcome.
If the birds will fly without perching, the hunters should also learn how to shoot without observation for a perch bird. If the police can be attacking we like this in River State, which should also learn to be shouting for the world to hear about and what we are going through. When the commissioner of police made that comment, I challenged him to float his personal number so that we can call in times of infractions like this. Did he float his number? And 9 young guys could not even wait to get his number. They went ahead to film police in River State, that a large majority of them are here just to make money. And I take this medium to also challenge the PPRO. Release your number and attend to this particular matter now that was brought to your studios. If we can't hit this particular one, then which means we have failed.
All right.
If the commissioner of police, the PPR, will not handle this particular one, I will say, me, Mr. Zion, all my callings on radio for the how many years I claim I've been calling, then which means I'm not doing anything. Just imagine telling you and I that there are powerful Nigerians committing crime, that they are above the law. Canada, it was last year, precisely October 15th, I had an encounter with a professor for one of the universities in the Western world. And why I had issues with him? He asked, in a normal electronic lecture hall like this, that you Nigerians, particularly Mr. Zion, are you people working with your heads down? It was my outrage that called for a proper discussion with all students under that course, online course. Sir, it is a shame that a government official like that can come out publicly with such a comment. Which is where we live in now. Are we living in the jungle? That you cannot arrest the people committing this crime.
Right.
Killing, I mean, they are killing
Right.
people. They are not.
Are you there, Zion?
Sir, it's a clarion call that from henceforth we should be teaching our people who to vote for and how to vote.
All right, then.
Churches should be sincere to themselves.
All right.
Do not just vote for anybody that has taken office for up to 8 years. Don't vote for any of them again. They cannot protect you.
All right, Zion, thank you. Thank you very much.
Zion.
We've got to move on now. Edwin from Rumusi, welcome. Edwin, it's good to hear from you.
Yeah, Canada.
You're welcome.
The question that always runs my mind is that this police now, always we see them giving us statements and all that. The statements are just there for the public to get. But the problem is that who will be monitoring all these things? Now they say don't touch on, don't do this, don't do that. That is a lot of it. Who will be the one? Okay, now this person we are having to giving that instruction. Snap. Do what you want when you see people manhandling somebody. And they go ahead to do this now. They still arrested them and take them to the police. Is there no division police officer there that is aware that this person, this is what did they commit before they were brought to this place? You see? So the problem is that if nobody is monitoring anybody, they are together as one as police.
All right.
So they can do anything and get out of it. That is the truth, Canada. I tell you the truth.
All right, then.
No matter what the statement they give and all that, nothing.
All right, thank you very much, Edwin. Edwin from Rumusi, thank you very much. Let's go to messages now. Ali Spieth on Facebook says if he's very sure of what he's saying, he should let it out to save the nation from collapse. Tango Ability Atwebu says powerful Nigerians behind Banditry, says Alake. Name the powerful Nigerians behind Banditry and save Nigerians from being kidnapped. And that's what we are also saying. On WhatsApp, this one from Lady V says, in Nigeria now, who are we to be afraid of? He said, who are we to be afraid of while traveling on the road? The police or the bad boys? Lady V is asking. He's saying arresting the supporters of illegal oil refinery and gold mining is arresting themselves. and that is why these illegalities won't stop. Okay. This one says our courts of its time have become another INEC awarding undeserved to rich political godfathers. For our democratic governance to survive, there is the urgent need for immediate reforms of our weak electoral system. The judiciary, which is the protector of democracy, should sit up and ensure it delivers good justice no matter the important personality involved. If not, it will derail democracy, and the so-called non-achiever and greed big politicians will be the biggest losers, and abject poverty and underdevelopment for the ordinary citizens of Nigeria. Jimbo Baraye Karibon Nelson from Ogutan with that one. This one says, I think I've read it. Okay, he said Alake should stop beating around the bush and name those behind the banditry in the country and save Nigerians from being kidnapped. I read that before. Let's read this one. This one says, until Nigerian politicians do the needful by purging themselves from corruption and come up with a new Nigerian plan, every sector in Nigeria will continue to collapse. Monday Mbank from GRA Port Harcourt. Keep those calls coming in. Let's gag. I've got Friday from Bori. I missed that one. Friday to call back 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. If you're just tuning in, we've got 15 more minutes to the end of this segment. We're looking at the big three stories, and I've got the first one: powerful Nigerians behind banditry terrorism, and that's coming from Dele Alake, the Minister of Solid Minerals, and he's saying that these powerful Nigerians are the ones, sponsoring. And I'm wondering, why are we not going after them? Why have we not arrested them? Why have we not caught them? He also said when he made this budget presentation, he mentioned it, and some people sent him messages to threaten him. So why are the intelligence agencies not running around to make sure that those who threaten him are being arrested? Or does he know the people? These are some of the things I'm asking. The second one has got to do with Plateau State, where the former lawmakers are threatening to carry on seating, irrespective of the Court of Appeal judgment, saying that they are no longer lawmakers because then the Supreme Court, judging on the same matter, allowed or upheld the election of the governor. I've got Friday from Bori. Friday, welcome. What is on your mind? Let's get to hear your thoughts. Yeah, good afternoon to you.
I want to talk on the man that was tortured by police.
Okay.
You see, it's so good. But there's one thing I want to let people know. If you are videoing somebody, you cannot be threatening that you know that you are videoing. So what I'm saying now is that we are human beings. Just like if armed robber is coming to your house and they see with phone trying to call, they will deal with you. It's the same thing. So if you are videoing that type of that is happening, you stay somewhere and do it, and nobody will know that you are doing something like that.
Okay. So you shouldn't do it in front of the police.
Hello?
So you're saying you shouldn't do a video recording in front of the police while they are doing the activities?
Yes.
All right then. All right, thank you very much, Friday from Bori. I've got Obina from Port Harcourt. Obina, welcome. What is on your mind? Please tell me.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, Obina, welcome. What is on your mind? Tell me, please.
My name is Obina. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to ask whether people have any vacancy that can work.
All right, sorry, this is not the platform for that. Well, let's go back to the WhatsApp portal. This one says, "Good day, Mr. Batabo. The insecurity in Nigeria is on the rise on a daily basis. Some powerful Nigerians and politicians who are behind terrorism and kidnapping." He said, "Some powerful Nigerians and politicians who are behind the terrorism and kidnapping." This is not far from the truth. This reveals that the nation's challenges have grown beyond capability of the APC-led administration. The incident, kidnapping and killings in Nigeria, our leaders have failed woefully in their basic responsibility of protecting lives and property. Leadership failure has dealt with us in Nigeria. May God protect Nigeria. Awanate Clinton West. This one says, "Good day, brother. If after the Commissioner of Police had asked Nigerians to video police officers, and in obedience to this call, citizens are arrested, then I dare say that it was a ploy to milk the masses of their hard-earned cash. we live in a funny country, and I mean that in a negative term. Return his money and bring the culprits to justice. Newton Ikira. All right, I've got Daniel from Imogate. Let's take a listen. Daniel, welcome. What is on your mind? Please tell me.
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, greetings to you.
You get Daniel from Imogate as well.
Welcome.
Yes. Talking about the guy they arrested when videoing the police. And their boss, as Rashi said, will tell us, video them and bring to them so that when you maybe do one word, but even when you go to court, they will tell you there is no evidence. I believe that is the purpose, or that is the reason why they say video them and bring them. And now we are here talking about removing the bad egg. Kalada, my brother, removing the bad eggs is not only enough until we start removing the bad chicken, after the bad chicken, the bad hen, and then the bad cock.
Okay.
Before we can get it right. Okay. I hope you know you understand what I
understand. So we should go all the way to the leadership of the police. That's what you're saying.
Correct. Even to the politicians who get into office through corrupt means.
Okay.
You can only get the structure right when the foundation is right. When the foundation is not right, you can't get the structure right. That is where all these things started.
Okay. All right.
When you rig election and enter into office, and then you are coming to fight corruption. Chinke Daniel Mogeto.
All right, Chinke Daniel, thank you very much. Let's take this message. This one says, Kalada, Nigerians should be wise in following police at the end. The police authority will sweep it under the carpet. We're waiting for the commissioner's response to the wicked act by his officers in the car from Rupoku. I'm staying with the police story. I mean, I'm looking at it from two sides. The one part where the police recovered $3,000 from its officers who extorted some gentlemen, some civilians. I think about two of them. Took them to about 3 states. And they ended up in River State, and they extorted $3,000. That's some big money, by the way. And the police, after seeing the report, were able to recover the money. And then there is the one that went to video, and it was only following the directives of the police commissioner, and he was arrested. And in Nigeria, when someone tells you they were arrested by the police, most likely they were beaten in some good way, right? Beaten in some good way, and thrown into prison cell, and they had to bill themselves with over 50,000, some 53,000 thereabout, something like that. And I'm thinking, with the way the police is sanctioning its officers, I'm wondering if we will still have officers by, the end of the day. And then the second one is, what can we do to ensure that the police understand that they are here to serve? But then it's still a very difficult question to ask, because the police are not well taken care of. So you see why the conversation is rife, right? I've got Ubong from Woji. Ubong, welcome. What is on your mind? Tell me, please.
Good afternoon. I just want to say that I pleased to say that when bears do not carry rubber seeds, their tone stands so sweet. But the inaugural speech of the police commission is not something to be taken serious so far, based on the outcome, what is going on.
Okay.
Whenever they come, maybe I see a police coming to play, they will just tell us, stop giving the police money. Don't pay, don't give, don't do this. So you see, what they are telling us is opposite. They are telling us to give. If they say we should give, that means we should not give. Now they said video. So that means we should video. So when we see police taking certain action, I think, like the young man that the thing happened to, he should have been a bit cautious about that. Not because the commissioner said we should go and video openly.
Okay.
He should have done it codedly too.
All right.
So I think police so far does not able to trust them. And they said they are friends. How do we trust this? This is a so-called friend. How do we trust this as a so-called friend? That's the problem we are having here. never in any way don't care about how we feel about them. They keep doing what they feel is good for them. It's a worrisome situation.
All right. Thank you very much, Ubong. Thank you, Sophia from Port Harcourt. Welcome. It's good to hear from you.
Hello, Canada. Good evening.
It's still afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Sophia.
Oh, it's afternoon. Thank you.
All right, then. Welcome.
All right. About the people sponsoring terrorism activities in Nigeria, we have already been hearing about it. So we just want to know them, let them be punished, unless if they are above them, which is not supposed to be so.
Okay, so
and about the police officers in Rivers State.
Okay.
As long as the bad acts are much, so many people don't see the good side of the police officers. I'm not here to speak for my husband, but I assure everybody listening to me right now that there are many good police officers who are doing a great job that is really, really impacting in the lives of many people. But as long as the bad acts are many people will not see that. So my final prayer is that may the bad acts be guided.
All right. May they be
Thank
guided.
you.
All right. And they should be guided indeed. Let's read some messages. And this one says, good day, Canada. Apprehending and prosecuting kidnappers is supposed to be one of the easiest missions by our forces. This is because the kidnappers use phones to communicate to the relatives of victims for ransom. And when ransom is made, they also appear to pick their physical cash without any sort of interference. This obviously shows that they are top government officers or top government officers sponsoring the kidnapping thing, else we would have been hearing names of perpetrators of such humongous crime in our society. Festus from Alaska. Okay, let's see this one. This one says, over the years, bribery, illegal duty, and other criminal activities by some criminal elements within the Nigerian police personnel at various checking points really undermine the police credibility and reputation, making it harder for Nigerian police to carry out its mission effectively to combat criminal elements. And this is a bad approach, I think you said. You said have a serious threat, and this bad approach has a serious threat to our nationhood. Oh, it is highly regrettable and shameful. I weep for my once beloved country. Jimbo Baraye Caribou Nelson from Ogutown. And this one says, greetings, Mr. D. Batabo. Return of $3,000 extorted by some Nigerian policemen to the owners is a step in the right direction. Kudos to Nigeria Police Rivers Command, Skipo West from Buguma City. All right, I'm going to take one more call and then I'm going to find out what the person is going to say. Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yeah, Canada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, my name is Comrade Clinton. I'm calling from Bury.
All right, Comrade Clinton, welcome.
Yeah, I want to start with the issue going on in Plateau. I think this erases the deficiencies we're having in our judiciary.
Okay.
The law must be consistent.
Okay.
If you're saying that these matters are pre-election matters, it should have been entertained before the tribunal cases started and struck out. But they didn't. And they allowed it to persist. And now you know that the Court of Appeal, the appellate court, is a court of finality for lawmakers. And the court have decided. So I don't know. Now these people are left like that. The Supreme Court will not intervene because have been delivered at the appeal court.
But you see, Clinton, you see where the problem is now. Yes, the Court of Appeal is the final court for lawmakers when it comes to election matters, right? However, the Supreme Court is what? Superior to the Court of Appeal, right? And the Supreme Court is the final junction for people in the executive arm of government, like the governor and the president, right? So when you look at it, the Supreme Court has given a decision on the same matter with the Court of Appeal, but the Supreme Court's decision is different from what the Court of Appeal has given. So if you were the lawmaker, what would you do?
I'm telling you, because their hands are tied now.
Yes, I agree.
Like you said, they are casualties, Canada. And if I were to be a lawmaker in their shoe, I don't think there's anything I can do. I will just protest as they are doing, but at the end, the law will still take its full course because the court have decided. So I think they are casualties, they are victims of the circumstances. So that's just what it is now.
Do you think
Thank
maybe?
you.
Do you think maybe before I let you go? Sorry, Clinton. Do you think maybe the Supreme Court was wrong and then the Court of Appeal was right? I mean, can we argue it from that direction?
The Supreme Court cannot be wrong.
Why?
Because what they said that they said are pre-election matters, and we know we followed the elections with tribunals cases, and these things have come up before. Okay. And I wonder why the appeal court didn't see that the matters were pre-election matters and should have been entertained before now.
All right.
They allowed it to persist in the appeal court and they seek the judgment. It's really unfortunate, Canada.
All right, Clinton, I've got to let you go at this point. Thank you very much. The business news is up next. Stay tuned.
Politics, business.